Welcome back. Today's little project. I have realised I'm not particularly happy with my lathe tool layout. My lathe tools live in a drawer just next to me under the lathe. It's an absolute schmozzle. So my plan for today is to make two little drawer slides that fit inside. They will be half the depth, and two tier, so that I can slide the top and bottom past each other, still access the bottom. The carpentry that I will be doing will be a bit of a hodgepodge of skills and quality control. It's not going to be a masterpiece, but there it is. I also show you a couple of little techniques to check that your tri-squares are square. The way that I mark things out and cut things, look, we all learn as we go. So please don't take what I do or what I say as gospel. Do a bit of research yourself, watch a lot of people, read, research for yourself to find the technique that works for you, because we all approach things differently. And so we'll see how we go. Also, as a little side note, a lot of my videos that I do, I'm very fortunate that I have such a variety of tools. So in particular for these drawer slides, I'll be using my little 146, basically because the groove cutter blade on it is the perfect dimension to fit the sort of the white backed MDF board that's only 4 mil thick. As I say, it's nothing pretty, don't judge me, but what I'm sort of alluding to is a lot of the tools I use you may not be as fortunate as I to have this sort of variety of tools. It is what it is, guys. I'm here just to entertain and to show you the way that I do things in my shop. So with no more ado, I better get into it, hey? So I have already cut down 3 of my sides. I will be using, what dimensions are these? 30, so 18 by 30 maple. Something about maple, it is, in Australia, it is readily available from all of the hardware stores. Unfortunately, in the town that I live in, we don't have any decent timber suppliers, so we're at the mercy of these, big box stores, so to speak. For beginner woodworkers, maple or Meranti is a fantastic timber to use. It's easy to cut, easy to chisel, easy to work with. So I just happen to have a few sticks lying around, so that's what I'll be using for this project. The idea is that I'll be making a little frame, a couple little half lap joints, run a groove for the baseboard to sit in. I know the dimensions of this timber is exact enough. A nice way to check your square is if you place it on your mark, transfer your line, but then follow your line around. And then if your tri-square is out, once you get all the way around to the beginning, this is my point. Once you transfer that line all the way around, you will discover if they don't meet, then your tri-square is not square. Obviously, allow for a little bit of discrepancy when you're marking if things move. Now, because I'm just going to cut these by hand, I have marked all the way around to ensure that I can cut square cuts, cutting just slightly to the waist side of the mark. Nice, easy cuts, letting the saw do the work. With your bench hook, I like to use 2 bench hooks, one to stabilize the waist end, the other to support where I'm cutting. Now, on the bench hook here, you can see all these cuts. That is so that once you cut through, you don't get blowout on that end of the cut. That's what the bench hooks are designed for. They're designed to be cut, to be damaged. Now I'm just going to reposition. I do not have a shooting board. It's something that I would love to get. But a nice, easy, cheat way is to basically just use the bench hook. I turn it around. So on this side, I always leave the backstop back so I can cut into the board. On the other side, there's no need. Happy coincidence, that's now my shooting board. Not perfect, but it does work. Ensuring that you lift the plane up so it's square with the board. And I'm just tucking a little bit past, just to nick the end. Rightio, now that I have established that my pieces are square, equal length, we're good to go. Now, once again, this is just a sort of a knock together build, so I'm not going to concern myself too much with precision. You know, it is what it is. The idea is that I'm going to be doing half lap joints here. So all I want to do is mark the thickness of the section that I'm going to be rebaiting. Now you can use marking gauges and whatnot for this process. I am not going to bother, guys. This is purely a nice, quick, knock together project. But I am ensuring that I'm squaring these lines. I'm not trusting that I can hold that stick of timber square. So I have got my depth gauge set for how much I want to take out. It's an arbitrary amount, guys. You just pick what looks nice. Make sure when you're transferring these marks that you're doing it on the same face each time that you want to take out. If it's not center, don't inadvertently mark the wrong face. So we've marked our halving joints, our lap joints. Now I need to cut down to the scribed line. I am going to use a little gentleman's sword just because it is such a fine blade. It means I can cut right to the line with no fear of blowing the cut out. Ensuring that I'm nice and square and on mark. Take it down to your mark. That is good enough for you and I. Now I'm just going to chisel out the waste. And to do that, I'm going to pop it in the vise. Now typically you don't use your vise to hold while chiseling. These are just tiny little pieces, doesn't matter too much. Now you probably can't see on the camera, but that's the line I'm working to there. Be aware of grain direction. Once again, maple is quite good. Nice straight grain. So you typically can go at it whichever way. When using a chisel, don't hold here and chisel. I always pinch the blade with the operating hand so that if I go past, my fingers will stop. So do as I say, not as I do. Just going to pare that down to that line. Make it all look nice and pretty. And as you can see, Meranti or maple is such an easy timber to work with. It's a soft wood. And I then check with the piece that's going in to ensure I've gone deep enough and that it all looks nice and sort of flat. Okay, so our 4 joints are done. And this is where I sort of reiterate, not everybody has the tools that I am lucky enough to have. You know, realistically, to do the groove for the bottom drawer, you can use a router. I found the difficulty with using my combination planes or my rebate planes to house in a sheet of ply to the bottom. Because of the dimensions, a lot of the gauges, the fences for the tools are deeper than this. So it became a bit of a problem trying to sort that out. So next step, I want to just assemble, dry fit, have a look. I'm looking also at the timber to go, oh, is that nice enough? I might actually just turn that upside down. That looks a bit nicer there. Don't mind that. Might actually put that up the top. Rightio, so I literally just turn them, put a little mark that will be removed once I do the groove, so that when I'm moving things around like I am now, I don't forget where they are. So I don't mess with the setting on this because the tongue and groove settings are perfect for my 12mm boards. I don't want to adjust it. I'm going to make the project suit the setting. There's my mark. I've got the right side. So I've got my groove side, and I literally now just come in and do my groove. Once again, like all hand tools, let the tool do the work. You shouldn't have to really push. Scrub plane is different. Scrub plane, you've got to put a lot of effort in. Most other tools, just let them do their work. So that's no longer taking shavings, so it's bottomed out on the fence. So I know that that is now set. One thing I will also mention is with any of these moulding planes, rebate planes, that first pass is the most important, because if you're not hard up to your timber, not square, not parallel, that first swipe sets the track for the next one. So if you're not holding it correctly or keeping it hard up, that next pass will just follow the same line. Rightio. So there you have it. Beautiful little tool, that one. 146. Love it. Right. So we now have our frame all done. Our grooves are in to take the baseboard. That's around the wrong way. Beautiful. So I've now cut my baseboard. Now I did tell a little bit of a lie when I said that it's the tongue and groove, the 146 groove cutter fits this. It is a fraction of a mil too wide. So all I'm going to do with this is just chamfer it a little bit, take it back. When doing this, I want to have the plane sitting way down but angled so that as it cuts, it slices that. It slices the particles. If you do it square, you'll find that it'll sort of flake off and chip off and look atrocious. And there you have it. Bit of glue, clamp her up. Next phase will be to do the runners for the drawer, and yeah, see how it goes. Thank you very much, guys. I'll show you the end result in another video. Thanks for watching, guys.